heard people talk about problems that I haven't had myself. And some people are not keen on the idea of cutting their strings until they have them installed. I personally have never found any reason not to go ahead and cut the string to the correct length. So I'm going to show you how I determine what the correct length is, and how I get the string started on the key post, and how I hold it, and all of that sort of thing while I'm actually putting it on. So I'm getting out my first one here. And every steel has a slightly different mechanism as to how the string attaches back here at the bridge end, but that doesn't really make too much difference. However it goes on is fine. We're going to do the same procedure no matter what kind of steel we're playing. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to attach the string back here at the bridge end, and I'm going to pull it across and lay it down on the nut roller, and then I'm going to pull it out until the length of it is about 2 key posts past the first one that I want to put it on. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And so now when I wind it down onto the post, it's going to be the correct length. And now at this point, I don't care if it's still attached back here or not. I can kind of let that fly if I want to. And I'm going to take my fingers manually and turn the key so that the hole is straight up, and I'm going to insert the string through the hole, and then I'm going to turn it a little bit so that I can see how far the string is sticking out on the other side. And I'm going to call that maybe, I don't know, I'll say 1/4 of an inch or so. And then once I can see that the string is an appropriate distance through the hole, not too long, not too short, once I see that, I'm going to go ahead and pull a crimp into it quickly. Now the string is crimped. Now at this point, as long as I keep some tension on it, it will stay attached to the post. So now I can go back down here to the bridge end, whatever kind of mechanism I have, where this particular guitar has little slots that they pull up into. Some other guitars have a little pin that the string ball attaches to. But now I can stick that on and attach it, and now I can create a little bridge with this finger right here, and nothing will move. Everything stays in place, and I can go ahead and wind the string on. And again, I'm going to use the drill for this. And I start out on the first 5 strings. I want the majority of the material to go to the bigger section of the post. But I want to also be absolutely sure that the string doesn't move in any kind of way. So what I always do is on the very first wind, I have the string go on the outside of the part that's sticking out there. And as soon as it's past that, I'll go ahead and push the string over so that now the string is winding onto the big portion of the post. And once it's lined up to do that, all I have to do is keep a little tension on, and I'm just going to run the drill until it pulls down snug. Okay, now the string is on, it's installed. The only thing left to do is tune. And so I mentioned earlier that sometimes I do this right before a show, and people ask me, how do I stay in tune? And what I'm going to do to get a head start on staying in tune later is I'm going to go ahead and tune this string a 1/2 step sharp. So I'm going to tune this string to D sharp. I'm going to go ahead, you're not going to be able to hear this because my tuner has my output muted, but I'm going to look down here at my tuner and play this string. And what do you know? I ran it down where I stopped it was just a little bit flat of D. And now I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to D sharp. So it's now a 1/2 step higher than it's going to need to be for its final resting spot. Okay, that one's done. We move on to the next one. We go right on through the same way. And I'm going to do this without talking so much to show you that you can just do this pretty quickly. Clip it on, lay it across, 2 key lengths, cut through the post. About a 1/4 inch sticking out on the other side. Pull the crimp, reattach at the bridge. Keep that little tension in the middle. One wind on the outside, the rest on the inside. All right, now the last time I got pretty lucky. I stopped almost pretty close to D. I can tell this one's not quite up to, this is going to be the note of E. Okay, so here's E. Same thing. We're going to go ahead and run this up a half step sharp. I'm going to finish out the other 8 strings exactly the same way, and once I put the 10th one on, I'm going to come back and show you about getting them to stay in tune.